Hi guys, and welcome back to Dudley Central. This is the May 2021 update, and in this video I'm just going to go over the bits and pieces I've done during April and May. I've done quite a bit of work around the station area and predominantly focused on track work, and you will see quite a big difference certainly at the northern end of the layout. I hope you like what you see. Comments are always really appreciated, and I hope you enjoy the video. So you'll be delighted to know I have found my tripod, so there won't be any shaky videos like in the previous one, but we'll kick off on the layout now anyway. So I think the main focus of my last update was the headache that this area was causing me, particularly with a curved point. And the issue I was having with the curved point, which was here, was that every time, I'll just pan the camera around, every time I had a steam locomotive and the odd cocoa loco, every time that came off, it'd come off the rails at this point here. I did absolutely everything I could. I checked the spacing between the rails, all seemed to be okay. I tried to twig the tracks going into that point to make sure that there wasn't like a weird kink. Didn't seem to do anything either. I did loads and loads of testing, and in the end I gave up, so I just took it out, and quite a few of you suggested in the comments to just get rid of it and go for a straight point, so that's exactly what I've done. I've tossed this away. I'm sure I can use it for something, but what I have done is I've started the point just after the viaduct here. And actually this gets me out of another issue, because I can now fit a point motor just underneath here, but it'll fit behind the timber. So I'm quite pleased with that, because that was something that was also giving me a headache with a curve point. And so what I've done is I've extended the passing loop platforms, so platform 1, right around here over to the left. And this is having a much better impact, particularly on the steam locomotives, and so I'm quite pleased with that. So the other thing that I've done as well, so none of this track here is actually glued in, it's just sitting in place, but I've also been experimenting with a bit of super elevation. Just to do that, I've just grabbed some packaging card and I've just cut it into strips and put it round. And that certainly seems to work for me. It has improved the performance of the locos I've found as well. They seem to be going around a little bit more smoothly. But I'm sure when the track work is properly glued down, we'll see the full effect of that. The other thing as well is when you see the track from above, you'll see that this particular track here kind of kinks in and then comes back out. Now the reason for that was to keep the kind of radius of a track big enough so that the locos didn't come off on the curve, if that makes sense. So it gives a nice sort of interesting angle of the trains actually when you look this way, particularly as the loco comes in. The other thing I've done as well on this main line, which as you can see this one's not in at all at the moment, but the cork is down, and I've measured this with a Pendolino carriage just to make sure that that's the one that's most likely to collide, so that's why there's a big space here. But certainly I can't wait to get this one hooked up properly so I can have bi-directional trains running. But I just feel as a corner now it's just looking a bit more prototypical, and performance wise I'm definitely seeing a massive difference. As I say, once that's in I can start thinking about what goes in behind the track, what goes in front, and I'm quite happy with how this is all shaping up now. So another area that I've started to look at was the retaining walls. They've been sitting there a long time, and I find I do take pictures of this area quite a lot, and to be honest, the timber colour was doing my head in, to be honest. So what I've done is I've painted them up, I gave them a surface primer, and then done my sort of usual brickwork painting. I may look at putting some isopropyl alcohol on this just to sort of tone it down a little bit, because in some patches I think it is a bit too dark, but overall I'm quite happy with this so far. At the moment the plan with the arches is to have another few here. The reason I haven't finished those is I'm going to do it in a separate video and just show you how I complete the build, but the plan is I'm going to have, I think, 2 more arches here. Not entirely sure on that corner just yet. The other option there was to have another road bridge, but to be honest I'm thinking maybe a little workshop would be quite nice there. But as we come round, I'm going to have one shop here. I'm not entirely sure what's going to go there. In this space in between now, this is all measured up for the station building. And then over there, let me just zoom in. So you can see I've gone for 3 shops in the middle and then one of the bricked up arches either side. I haven't quite decided what shops I'm going to put there yet. I'm feeling a WH Smith's possibly, but I'm open to ideas, perhaps a Starbucks or something like that. I'm really looking forward to detailing all of those interiors. So another addition, which I guess not specifically train related, but I did manage to get myself a printer in the end. So I'm now looking at the scale scenes kits and planning how I'm going to do interiors of the shops, because I'm quite excited about doing stuff like that, and that's part of a hobby I really enjoy. But I think with a bit of colour now it's starting to really take shape. These arches are kind of inspired by both Livery Street in Birmingham, by Birmingham Snow Hill, and also the local brickwork in Dudley as well, which seems to adopt this blue-grey kind of brickwork. But yeah, I'm really happy with how that's starting to look now. Over that far corner I need to start thinking about the girder bridge just underneath where that Class 47 is, and then that sort of larger building there. I'm thinking perhaps a Tesco Express or a Woolworths maybe, just to try and lock this down as a 90s 2000s layout. But this is the station area now, and it is starting to take shape. I'm quite excited to start the station building. The plan is to go for something that kind of resembles Wolverhampton, with that sort of 1960s sort of monstrosity. I've been looking at the clasp system, which that sort of station takes it from, and the scale scenes kit for that's a natural one for adopting for that. But yeah, that's the street scene, so I'll have a look above on the track level now. So in terms of track work, as you can see in the image in front of you, I've got 3 tracks now powered up, so platform 1, 2 and 3. As you saw earlier on, the loop for platform 3 is by no means in, but I just thought while this track is there I might as well get it hooked up to the bus wire. So I've got a nice little stretch of track to put like a DMU on. And then behind it, the platform 4, the bay platform, that has not been hooked up yet, but that will be the next area I target. So this whole area now, I've done all the sort of sleeper spacing that I want to do. As you can see, there is a gap there where the fish plates are, and I'll come back in and add a cosmetic sleeper just in there. But really I'm quite keen to have a look at adding some of the sort of platform edging just to see how that fits, because I can now start thinking about scenery in this little 4-foot area. I have planned out the platform length now, so in shot it is, so here is going to be the end of platform 1 and 2. Over to the far side it's going to end here, and over to the other side I'm just going to step around the camera. So on platform 3 it's going to finish approximately here, just before this double slip, and it's going to finish here for platforms 1 and 2. Now the reason for that is it fits a 5-car HST with power cars at either end. That's always been the sort of maximum train length I wanted to go for, so that it doesn't just dominate the entire layout, I guess. And also it means I can get a prototypical Virgin Trains HST just before they kind of retired them, and it'll look quite good, so I can have some sort of medium sized trains, and then the sort of longer expresses can just shoot through. So I'm quite excited to do that, and I'm looking at using the Pico concrete sort of edging to do that, and then have a tarmac finish. And then the idea with the station building is I'm going to have a little sort of waiting room area on that side, and I can have a lift sort of shaft here and here, and then have some minimal sort of shelters. I don't want something that dominates it too much. I did find these sort of art deco things that I'd had from a previous project. Not sure about them, to be honest. The other issue I have with them is that the edging of the sort of canopy could have issues with electric stock, so I am planning to add overhead lines at some point. And the position of this canopy, it's too close. It wouldn't be a problem if I had third rail or just diesel haulage, but that is something I'm definitely thinking of, and perhaps isn't the right way. But that's it for now. I say all the work really has been centred on this side, and it has taken a little while, particularly with the sleeper spacing, but really my focus is this sort of 4-foot stretch, because I want to get this platform 4 wired in. I can start looking at the platform edging, look at the station building, and just get this whole scene nicely tied together. And then also in the background, I'm just going to give a shout out to my very close friend Sean. We are going to look at doing a back scene, which is photographic. I'm not going to go into too many details yet, but he's going to help me prepare something. Sean's does some excellent tutorial videos on terrain. I'd highly recommend you checking out his channel. I'll pop a link here. But he does some really good stuff, and he's very talented, and he's very confident we can do something good with an urban scene, shall I say. But I won't give it away yet. That'll be a future video. So that's it from me, to be honest. Thank you for listening to me waffle on for all this time. I'll leave you with some running shots of the trains, and as always, feel free to comment and subscribe. It does really help motivate me to crack on, and it is great to get a bit of feedback. So all the best now, and stay safe of course. Bye for now.